The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I hope you've all had a good day. We're just going to hang on for a few seconds to see, let the others sort of come into the webinar as well. So yeah, we'll just wait a few seconds. I can't believe how warm it's been today. Well, I'm sure you're all listening across the country, so it might be different. I think it's different up in Scotland at the moment, but down here it's been absolutely glorious. Just a couple more seconds and I'll get going. Okay, so yeah, just welcome everybody. I hope you've all had a good day. My name is Rachel Dobson. I'm a personal trainer. Tonight I'm going to be talking about chronic pain and exhaustion, also touching on chronic fatigue, which I can speak of firsthand due to my own experiences. 4 years ago, I suddenly became very unwell. I went from being fit and healthy to barely being able to function. I was eventually diagnosed with Sjogren's syndrome. Many of you will not have heard of this, even though it is the second most common autoimmune disorder. It's very similar to rheumatoid arthritis and lupus. It presents itself in many different ways, but I am going to focus on the pain and fatigue. To give you an example, I would struggle to sleep as I felt my rib cage was being crushed, to the point I would yelp every time I turned over in bed. When I took my first steps out of bed in the morning, it was tough to walk. My feet felt broken, no mobility in my ankles. In fact, my whole body just hurt. The fatigue was overwhelming. As a personal trainer, I was very fit and could easily do 20 perfect press-ups, for example, but found myself almost overnight not being able to do one. Firstly, it hurt. Secondly, my strength had gone, but most of all, I just wanted to lie on the floor and go to sleep. And I mean really just curl up and go to sleep. Quite a bizarre sensation. Chronic pain and exhaustion can be symptoms of many conditions. Rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, Sjogren's syndrome, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, osteoarthritis, injury, stress, and sometimes, which is very difficult, unknown. If you suffer from any of these or others, I'm sure you understand. What can be really tough about these conditions is that they are invisible. If someone broke their leg and it was in plaster, you could see it, which enables you to understand and therefore sympathise. However, when you can't see it, it's difficult to sympathise and therefore probably don't give the support needed. Fatigue can cause a vast range of other physical and mental emotional symptoms, including loss of concentration, loss of memory, headaches, dizziness, sore aching muscles, brain fog, anxiety and depression, and even stomach upsets. With chronic pain, it can lead to chronic stress reaction, which causes an increase in heart rate, breathing rate, and blood pressure. A prolonged stress state can result in harmful effects on multiple body systems, causing disturbed sleep, fatigue, depression, anxiety, change of appetite, decreased confidence, isolation. These two are all invisible illnesses. Thankfully, over the years, I've managed to find solutions that have really helped me to the point of coming off some of my medications, especially the high dose of painkillers and anti-inflammatories that gave me many other problems. It's probably the last thing you want to hear when you're in pain and feeling exhausted, but exercise really is important. It gets the joints and joints mobile and the synovial fluid flowing, not to mention the benefits of your mental health, as the brain produces dopamine and serotonin, which improves mood. It doesn't need to be a huge amount, even starting at 5 minutes walk around the block and gently increase. Add some stretching. For those with chronic fatigue, I hear you. When it's bad, And on these days, no amount of exercise makes you feel better. Be kind to yourself and rest. Food obviously plays a huge part. There is often inflammation in the body with any health issue. So really think about what you eat. Foods to avoid: sugars, excessive alcohol, processed meat, red meat, refined carbs, and some dairy. Think about increasing your intake of oily fish, like sardines and tuna, green leafy veg, broccoli, spinach, olive oil, nuts like almonds and walnuts, fruits, strawberries, cherries, berries. After being diagnosed with Sjogren's, I started to change my lifestyle by introducing these foods. Also at this point, I was told I would have to give up my career as a personal trainer, as I wouldn't be well enough to continue. Little did they know. So taking at their word, I went in pursuit of a job I could do from home. I never realised I would end up with a second job, not only a second job, but ended up being a true blessing to my health. I stumbled across Synergy Worldwide. My first experience with the product was when I had a meeting to discuss coming on board as an elite coach with them. 30 minutes before the end of my first meeting with them, my fatigue and brain fog was really kicking in. I was in the room, but I really wasn't present. They give me an energy drink, E9, to try, so I thought, what better time? The meeting finished 20 minutes later, at which point they asked how I was feeling. Not much, to be honest. To be polite, I said, I'm sure it will kick in later. I was really thinking, but you don't understand. I'm not tired. I'm fatigued. By the time I got home, I was bouncing off the walls. I was in. I then started taking all of their products, which gave me a quality of life back I never thought I would see again. As I've just mentioned, E9 is an amazing energy drink, an amazing natural energy drink. It's packed full of vitamins and natural caffeine that can give you sustained energy and mental focus throughout the day. It also contains L-arginine for heart health and inulin for gut health. The Flex is great for joints, pain and inflammation. It comes in the form of a gel, which means the body absorbs so much more than a capsule or tablet. In one full dose, you get 1,500 milligrams of glucosamine. Glucosamine provides cushioning and lubrication for the joints. There is 900 milligrams of chondroitin, which stimulates cartilage and renewal and assists in regenerating tissue throughout the body. The MSM has 375 milligrams. This helps repair stiff tissue cells in muscles and reduces inflammation. In 2016, I was one of the lucky ones in the UK to try the microbiome programme. Due to my condition, I had already been looking into the microbiome and gut health. My health after completing this programme went to another level. The inflammation, according to my blood results, decreased and my energy increased. The microbiome is a complex network of bacteria, fungi and microflora that reside primarily in the gut and impact the health of virtually every system in the body. The 21-day Purify program focuses on resetting the microbiome by encouraging you to eat foods that feed your good bacteria and to not eat foods that feed your bad bacteria. The Purify kit consists of 5 products. The first one being Pro-arginine. Pro-arginine is one of their flagship products. It contains arginine, which helps the body to produce more nitric oxide. Nitric oxide got the Nobel Prize award for its importance in heart health. So opening up the cardiovascular system, feeding the heart, it's got to be a good thing. It's also packed with vitamins, B complex, vitamin C, D3, K2, and plenty more. BIMDT is a chlorophyll liquid which helps put your body into an alkaline state. Bad bacteria doesn't like an alkaline state, so already we're beginning to kill off the bad bacteria. It's also packed with your greens, so great fibre in there, and an alkaline state is very great for inflammation in the body. It also takes out heavy metals from the body. The Biome Shake is a pea protein, and this is great if you're vegan, and it's packed with essential vitamins and minerals. Their Biome Actives are a pre and probiotic. The quality of these is just amazing. Most pre and probiotics you need to keep in the fridge. With these ones, they're a dormant spore, so actually don't start multiplying until they reach the intestine. The digestive tract is quite a fiery place for them to go down. The Body Prime is a magnesium blend. About 80% of us are deficient in magnesium, and this causes problems with sleep, restless legs, cramps, and various other things. So this one is a magnesium blend. It has apple pectin, which is a prebiotic. So once again, we're feeding that good bacteria we put in there. Prune powder, on some level, does what it says on the tin, but helps draw the magnesium through the body along with water, which then in turn softens the stools and helps eliminate the toxins from our body. I would like to now ask, I've got Rachel Tate, if you could sort of just log yourself in, that would be great.
Hi there, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. Thank you very much for coming on. You're going to share with us your experience. Yes, if you'd like to go ahead and share your experience with us. Thank you.
Absolutely. So my story also starts about just over 4 years ago. I was a very busy primary school teacher, a mum of 2 young boys, very fit and active, full life, when I very suddenly became ill. I had a very simple urine infection, but I just didn't get over it.
Okay.
I had months and months of antibiotics. Nothing seemed to shift my symptoms, which were varied from pain to fatigue to headaches. You name it, I had it. It was, quite an experience going through all those symptoms.
Yeah.
Had absolutely numerous tests for all kinds of horrible illnesses and diseases, all of which came back negative, thankfully. And eventually I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue. Some of you might know that as ME as well.
How did you feel when you got that diagnosis? How did that make you feel?
It felt good that I didn't have cancer, because that's basically what I was being tested for. And it was nice to put a name to all of the symptoms that I was experiencing, and that it wasn't in my head. It was a real illness, which is quite a big thing mentally, to actually know what's wrong with you. But yeah, so kind of from that point, my health still continued to deteriorate. And I couldn't look after myself, let alone my own children.
And what did they give you? The doctors.
So from the NHS, I was given antidepressants to help me sleep, but that didn't do anything at all, to be honest. And that was it. I was told to use painkillers if I was in pain.
Yeah.
I went for various X-rays because sometimes it felt like I had broken bones.
Yes.
But obviously there was nothing wrong with my bones.
No.
So it was quite a lengthy process of going through lots of tests and trying various things from the NHS. But to be fair, nothing really works. And I'm sure, like you said, I became really isolated from friends and family.
Yes.
And after a couple of years, I lost my job. There was no way that I could ever even contemplate going back to work, and they couldn't hold my position open for any longer. So that was quite a big hit, really.
Yeah, which compounds everything
mentally. Yeah. So I continued to deteriorate sort of week by week, day by day, and I just thought enough's enough. I can't live my life like this. I've got 2 young children. I want to be a mum to my children. I've got, a loving husband. I want to be a wife to my husband. So I started on the search to find alternative means of helping my symptoms. So I went to see somebody who specialised in wellness, and so the first thing that I changed was my diet. So straight away went to a completely clean diet, cut out refined sugars, cut out gluten, just ate lots of really fresh foods, lots of vegetables, just really cleaned up my diet. Started drinking more water to flush everything through. Started looking at gut health, so I started on taking some probiotics. Because obviously I'd been taking antibiotics for 4 or 5 months.
Goodness.
So of 18 months previous. So my guts were probably in an absolute state, and I really needed to make sure whatever I was putting in, my body was able to absorb, get the most out of it. And I was on a really healthy diet, and my body needed to make the most of that. So those probiotics were an absolute must. I tried other various supplements that they stopped the deterioration. But it wasn't me. I wasn't back to myself. It stopped the decline. And then I was introduced to the Synergy products. So I was introduced to it's called the V3 system, which comprises of those people who are not aware, it comprises of 3 products. One is called Vitalife, which is an alkaline drink. It's liquid chlorophyll, which maintains alkalinity in your body, which is absolute key. If you've got any kind of chronic illness, you need to have an alkaline state inside your body to just start that healing process to cut down that inflammation. The other product is called Mystify, which is jam-packed full of antioxidants, which again is just gonna really give your body a boost to fight off any illnesses and sort of start that healing process. And finally, I started to take Pro-Arginine, which I think is an absolutely amazing, fantastic product. We know about the Nobel Prize that was involved with the development of that product, which I think it's
the combination of those 3 is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, and I have to check my diary with this so that I got my facts right, but I knew exactly what date I started taking the products based on my first order date on my emails. But actually, after 1 month of taking the V3 system, I noticed a difference. I could see it wasn't massive. I'm not saying I was jumping out of the sofa and running around the block, but I could see a difference that I hadn't seen for like 2.5 years. I could see that I was able to walk further. I wasn't getting those big setbacks anymore, and I just thought, do you know what, I need a goal. I need something to keep me going, something to aim for, that I can work towards and really sort of accomplish something. And something that I've always wanted to do, call me crazy, but I've always wanted to do one of those colour rush obstacle races, the 5K. So I found one that was local to where I lived, and it was about 8 months away. So I thought, do you know what, 8 months, if I feel this great after 1 month, 8 months is doable. So I signed a couple of friends up to do it with me, and 8 months later I did it and felt absolutely brilliant.
Oh, brilliant. That's just amazing. Just a great sort of finisher, isn't it, for you to actually set that goal for yourself and to achieve it.
And I've just come on leaps and bounds since. It's been absolutely brilliant.
That's
I've got a lot to thank Synergy for. Obviously that's not the products are not everything, and that's important to say that it's not just the products, that the diet is absolutely crucial. And I've also, I've made some lifestyle changes. So I meditate every day. I do Pilates. I have reflexology. So there's lots going on as well. But yeah, without the Synergy products, I don't think I could have achieved what I have achieved.
It's elevated your health, hasn't it? Which
definitely,
yeah, it is fantastic. Great, Rachel. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm sure that's invaluable to a lot of people.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you. I'm going to actually share my own testimonial for the next one on Flex, which is one of the latest products. The hometown that I live in, we have a festival every year, music and dance and various other things goes on. And the last few years, I've sort of ummed and ahed about going, but generally life's for living. But I always know there's a consequence to pay. I know I will go and have a fantastic night, but the next sort of 5 days at least, I will pay a price of pain and fatigue. So this year, feeling sort of much better than far better than I have been, went down there. A little heels on, which probably isn't ideal. You're on your feet all night. It's down by the river, so the temperature does get quite chilly at some point. Eating and drinking freely. And dancing the night away. So not to be surprised when I woke up in the morning, I was broken. Just took me right the way back to where the soles of my feet were visibly very swollen, and my feet felt broken again. So I thought, what better time to try the Flex? So I came down in the morning slowly and took a full dose of the Flex. I spent the rest of the day on the sofa with my feet up and feeling a little bit sorry for myself, but thinking it was all worthwhile. Before I went to bed, I took another dose, a full dose of the Flex. I double dosed on the Flex, which is absolutely fine. Had a good night's sleep. Woke up and I just thought, okay, that feels easier. Came downstairs, had another dose, and actually by the afternoon I was out and about, which is it's just amazing. My recovery definitely, you're talking 5 days plus. So I think that the Flex is an amazing addition to the Synergy products. Thank you very, very much, everybody, for listening. If you'd like support to elevate your health and have a question or want to find out the best way to order supplements, please get in touch with the person that shared the webinar link with you. Oh, bear with me one moment. It's not, there we go. Our topic tomorrow is hosted by Kim Bradley, who will be talking about raised blood pressure, a sign your body is struggling. If you'd like to learn more about the research and business opportunity, please join our live webinar next Sunday. Thank you all very much for listening. I wish you all a very good night.